26 runs conceded so far from Ashton Agar. Rajapaksa happy to knock him around. Oh dear, oh dear. I thought there was two. Bit more urgency. That's the end of the 16th. 99 for 4.
या तो अंपायर दोनों हाथ ऊपर करेगा या एक. आपको क्या लगता है? तो फेयर प्ले फैंटेसी पर खेलो और जीतो. Download the Fair Play Fantasy app now.
This game involves an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
A battle of resurrection. Can Stokes lead England to a revival?
What a player, Ben Stokes.
Or the champions will continue their domination.
What an incredible innings this is.
Second health insurance test match versus New
that. Sri Lanka really in no man's land here at 101 for 5. They need some runs. They need them desperately. They need a little cameo from this man. He's a scrapper. Captain could do with some runs as well. Dasun Shanaka. Just when we were waxing lyrical about this man, Lanka Rajapaksa, who also had some form in the IPL, he just helps that on its way to Josh Hazlewood at short fine leg. He will consider himself a little unlucky. Maybe he could have got a little bit more bat on it.
Half-hearted, wasn't he? Should have gone full Monty, especially with the fine leg, the circle.
He's found some space on the leg side. We'll bring two more. And just talking about the captain here, he could do with an innings, couldn't he?
I did have a decent tour of Australia, where Sri Lanka lost 4-1. I think captain should be leading from the front. Someone who's batting purely as a batsman, used to be an all-rounder, but nowadays hardly bowls with specialized 5 bowlers, but Sri Lanka is failing for. Just as you mentioned, HD, I'd like to get him some more responsibility, finishing up innings, and the cameos what we used to seeing from Dasun Shanaka.
Yeah, that's beautifully played. It's all about placement.
Yeah, 4 fielders in the ring, the offside, short wicket dropping down to mid wicket, and third man coming up. And Ken Richardson just giving a little bit of width, and Dasun Shanaka giving him some room, trying to place it, timed it well. Just what the Sri Lankans needed. Boundary early on.
Which is really nicely played. Didn't try and hit it hard. Scrambled seam from Richardson. He held it across seam, but there was enough pace for him to be able to use it. Just find that gap behind square on the offside. Turns down the single. But 9 from the over, 108 for 5.
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया। कहाँ?
Wickets in the power play to have Sri Lanka to be on 1-all going into Kandy.
Well, you would think at the current rate, 127 would not leave this crowd cheering, because we saw that Australia made light work of that total last night. But if we could finish with a couple of big overs, if Hasaranga could find some boundaries in some interesting areas where he can get the ball, he can get it into some areas which captains are reluctant to put fielders. And if Dasun Shanaka can hit a few lusty blows, and even Karunaratne will walk in next, if he can find the boundary on the odd occasion in these last 3 overs and just somehow get Sri Lanka up to 135. There'll be a shy.
Close call, Glenn Maxwell, the big show. Towards bowler's end, Vanadu Hasaranga almost got out of the second one there. I thought he was going to go to the bowler's end, Vanadu Hasaranga, but a direct hit would have outgone up. Sri Lanka to score at least something close to 140. It's not going to be easy, especially with Josh Hazlewood got 5 more deliveries. Pick off the bowlers for Australia, both the games.
Brilliantly bowled. Brilliantly bowled. Just over the last 2 years, this man has really come to the fore as a T20 bowler, Josh Hazlewood. Years ago, not even considered really for this form of the game, but opted to go and play in the IPL a couple of years ago, and he really has honed his skills and down to a fine art now. Knows what he's doing with the new ball, knows what he's doing in the middle overs, and he's effective at the back end as well with his variations of pace.
Complete package, isn't he? 18th over. Look at the bounce what he's extracting from this slower surface at our Premdas Stadium. Just goes to show he's top of the game. Runs in very smoothly, as you mentioned. A couple of years ago, he's nowhere to be seen in the T20 setup. For him to come so far ahead than the other bowlers just goes to show how much work he has done. In the previous interview, mentioned he's enjoying the game. And the bounce he's extracting, it's the older ball. It's outstanding.
All the men in the ring are on the ring. Swing and a miss.
Losing out the shape there. Dasun Shanaka trying to hit too hard. Very lucky. Very lucky. Most of the time, Sri Lankans in this innings, maybe yesterday as well, most of the batsmen did lose shape, and we caught lots of catches. See Banu Rajapaksa and the head coach Mr. Silwood not so happy, understandably. 109 for 5.
Must be one. Yeah, not easy as well for a new coach coming in. You know, Nicky Arthur was here before and he's left, and he would have had his imprint on a side now. At times, Silwood needs a little bit of time to put his mark on this team, find the players that he feels he wants to take forward. And it's so difficult to come in at this time with a World Cup just around the corner. Andrew MacDonald comes into a setup that has been very, very successful, and he's been in and around the setup for some time, so different roles for the two head coaches. Single to end the 18th, a very tidy over, just 3 from it. It's 1-1-1 for 5.
A battle of resurrection. Can Stokes lead England to a revival?
What a player, Ben Stokes.
Or the champions will continue their domination?
What an incredible innings this is.
Second health insurance test match versus New Zealand.
Probably a Maxwell got 1 more over to go. Probably Richardson. With the 2 Richardson will be finishing off for Australia.
Hazlewood's finished his 4, 0 for 16, so the only difference between yesterday and today is the wickets column. Chris Silverwood, the Sri Lankan coach, would have said, listen, he's a danger, don't let him knock us over, look after him. Well, they have looked after him, but he's hardly gone for a run, just 4 to the over. Josh Hazlewood, another sensational performance from the big quick. It is Jai Richardson. You're not seeing, we're so used to seeing Yorkers at the death. Australia's still hitting the wicket.
Pick my brain there. I was just about to mention that. The Australian bowlers trying to bowl any Yorkers. I think if 1 or 2 batsmen gets that length away by going towards square leg or maybe giving some room and going over extra cover, until then the Australians will be bang on that hard length, trying to get that bounce, trying to get the Sri Lankans playing the crossbat shots. That's where Dasun Shanaka will be holding key. Usually he's quite good at it, and only length Australia is going to do it.
Got that away, but there is protection on the offside. That was sweetly timed.
Similar length. And green with Dasun Shanaka, which only found the field at sweeper cover. This is good, the tactics used by Australia. All the bowlers are close to 135, 140. Look at that, sitting back. The length wasn't there for Dasun's favorite shot towards mid-wicket or probably square leg.
Change of wand for Wanundu Hasaranga. Has this one got a boundary? We know how difficult Yorkers are actually. I mean, the expectation on bowlers is just run up and bowl a Yorker. You know, it's tough. And if you just miss it, you're right in that hitting zone. Bouncer, that might be called wide. No, one for the over.
As expected, Jai Richardson banging in. And with Hasaranga, had any bat would have gone over the wicket keeper. Third man so fine, saying that this is very good by Australia. Tactics have been fantastic. Could have called a white as well. Saying that, soon after one bouncer for the over being called, short fine leg comes in, score leg drops down.
4. Lucky, but they'll take him.
Wrong foot Matthew Wade as well. That will take however it comes, as long as it comes. Swinging it over extra cover, Wanundu Hasaranga. Just look at Matthew Wade's feet. He's going towards next side, Wade is going towards left side, and outside edge, Matthew Wade had no chance. Very lucky.
Not a thick outside edge, but you're right, he's just pushing his weight onto his left-hand side, the ball drifting over that leg stump. He had absolutely no chance. Like a goalkeeper in soccer with a deflected shot. You just stare and watch it go past. A much-needed boundary. That's beautifully struck as well. That's a beautiful shot. Power. Much-needed power.
Margin for error so minimum. This time to bowl a Yorker, missed by at least by 6 inches, probably 8. And Wanundu Hasaranga, it gives him some room, trying to go through the offside. Couldn't do it. Batsman trying to go, and then look at that for a timing. Flat hit.
Changed his bat. 2 balls, 2 boundaries. One off an edge, one off the middle. The captain likes it. They need another to finish the over. There's some smiles coming back. Chance to end it. Hasaranga has to go. Jai Richardson has another.
No shape there. So I'm just hoping that he'll clear the extra cover fielder. David Warner, safe. He's not going to miss out there. Another decent delivery. Back of the length, bottom of the bat, no bats there. Talk about the shape. Replay we could see was nowhere. Just hoping that he'll have some bat and fly through. Wanundu Hasaranga gone for 12. Sri Lanka 1-2-1 for 6.
स्मृति जी, इंडियन टीम की ओपनर
पंकज जी। क्रिकेट पहनो, क्रिकेट में खो जाओ।
वाह स्मृति,
पंकज जी,
क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, शुरुआत होगी इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया के हिस्टोरिक टेस्ट से शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई दोपहर 2:30 पर। फिर होगी T20 और ODI सीरीज।
सोनी पे दिखेगा।
Another one gone. This time it's the captain.
Blood battered Dasun Shanaka. Slow ball to start by Kane Richardson. Only finding Aaron Finch at extra cover. It gets worsened for Dasun Shanaka. Bound written all over it. Only managing Aaron Finch. This is disappointing by Sri Lanka. Just falling apart. Skipper Dasun Shanaka gone for 14 of 17. Sri Lanka 1-2-1 for 7.
Dushmantha Chamira. He was scrambling for his pads as wickets fell in quick succession. One with the final ball of the previous over. Kane Richardson whacks one halfway down with no pace on it, and Nasun Shanaka has to reach for this, and just toes it straight to Aaron Finch at extra cover. And again, the captain gets a start, but doesn't finish it off for his side. Mind you, 26 for 2 inside the power play, and left the middle order with a lot to do. The exact opposite to what happened yesterday. High into the air. Has he got it? I don't think so. Out. Another one. That's 3 and 3 balls.
Team hat-trick for Australia. 2 in this over. In the last ball. It's getting worse and worse for Sri Lanka. 121. 3 wickets down. Dushmantha Chamira trying to use that long handle. Made some good contact, but just the elevation, not the distance. Ashanega safe as houses. As Sri Lanka lose another one. Dushmantha gone for naught. Sri Lanka 1-2-1 for 8. Hat-trick ball for Kane Richardson. What a time to bowl it. You'd wrap this kind of as a bowler, wouldn't you? It's not going to be a hat-trick, but it's going to be a dot ball. Australia continue to hit back of a length. Whether it's pace on or pace off, it's still the same area. That first for go was Nasun Shanaka in this over, and then family Dushmantha Chamira only getting the elevation, not the distance. Get the pitch map. Look at that, HD. Everything has to be back length. But only York or Jai Richards try to bowl, went for a boundary over the top.
High into the night sky, but again doesn't get enough. And Australia, make no mistake, it's 9 down.
Another one by Siddhas. Elevation, not the distance. Just thought for a second that cleared the mid-wicket boundary. Charming Karuratne just covering his off stump, using the long handle. Jai Richardson, one of those days, whatever he turns into, turns gold. Ashanega, second catch in the over, safe as houses again. Disappointment all over. Sri Lanka loses at 9. 19.4 overs, 121 for 9. Charming Karuratne gone for 0.
Nine down, and an aborted run. They've held their catches, Australia, in the deep. Just discussing there, you can see the Sri Lankan team talking about the pace on, the variation of pace by Australia, but still those same lengths. To fall short and just bring a single, and now we have one delivery remaining. Just one delivery remaining of this Sri Lankan innings. Yesterday they got 128. Another good catch from Agar in the deep.
It was, definitely it was. Never easy. Clear skies and day-night game. Just want to bring the attention, HD. 63 for 2 after 10 overs. And 59-7 the next 9.5 overs. That's where the game is won or lost. Spoke about so much the middle order, showing that intent, showing the positivity. We're not going to get those big runs by losing wicket in clusters.
We might lap him here. They're running hard. Missed the stumps, so they'll get 2. And those 2 will conclude the innings. Sri Lanka will finish on 124 for 9. In innings that started poorly, where they were 7 for 2. Just 26 runs scored inside the power play. Then they rebuilt and then stuttered towards the back end again, as Australia were magnificent at the death, led by Richardson and Hazelwood. And they'll fancy their chances to tidy up this series now.
Complete clinical performance in the field by Australia after winning the toss, bowling first. 124 for 9. We're talking about 170, 180. The batting card.
Well, the 2 early wickets, Nissanka and Gunatilaka going down. Then the rebuild from Asalanka and Mendes. And then there was promise, but no big partnerships. Jareth Asalanka top scoring with 39 off 33 balls.
Bowling card for Australia, almost perfect. Everyone chipped in, especially the 2 Richardson and Hazelwood are fantastic. Especially Ken Richardson, 4 for 30. Best figures in his T20 career.
Well, Australia lead the series 1-0, but they have an opportunity here to finish it up. They can win the series 2-0, but what they need is 125 runs to win when we return. We're off to a break, but don't go too far. When we come back, it'll...
स्मृति क्रिकेट ही पहनिए, खाइए, पीजिए और क्रिकेट ही ओढ़िए।
जी हाँ, रविवार 26 जून से आयरलैंड वर्सेस इंडिया और शुक्रवार 1 जुलाई से इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया। कहाँ?
This is going to be a phenomenal fight, and I can't wait to see it. Robert Teixeira.
It's going to be a brutal fight.
I'm coming home with the bell. Gary Prohaska. He's here to take over.
Remember those 22 yards in England? This is where the journey of Indian cricket began.
The media wrote about the Indian team. We were called dull dogs.
ये वर्ड्स जब कान में पड़ते हैं ये आपका थोड़ा खून खुलवाते हैं.
Where other teams feared to tread, they started leaving their mark.
First time India have beaten England.
They didn't just break records, they created milestones, introduced a new champion to the world.
There is no equivalent to Kapil Dev, and they're probably right.
They feared no one.
India have taken the series.
They fought fire with fire. And they beat the English at their own game.
Let's teach our colonial masters a little bit of a lesson.
This is the story